You may not know it, but just like some turtles, people with Down syndrome, people like my daughter, are endangered.
The Canadian Down Syndrome Society today launched a bold new awareness campaign called Endangered Syndrome. The advocacy group wants those living with Down syndrome to be the first ever humans put on the endangered list. One video states that in the U.S., Down syndrome births are 30% lower than projected, and goes on to say that in some countries, the number is approaching zero. It argues that because of the decrease in numbers, the Down syndrome community has less of a voice and therefore less funding and resources.
And what are you guys studying in integrated technology?
Like herds.
Dorleen Liefers-Rotolo is mom to Jessica, who appears as a lion in the ads.
If the population isn't there, will they get the proper funding for housing, for the job market, for education? It will no longer be there. If as their population declines, it won't be as important to the governments. It's very sad, and also for my daughter, she has so many friends who have Down syndrome, and it's such a beautiful community and a huge community. And what will happen with children in 20 years? Will they have friends that are like-minded? And I don't think so.
There are medical advancements now, and that might be contributing to the fact that there's less babies that are born with Down syndrome, and people might see that as a positive thing. What would you say to those people?
Well, I don't think it's positive at all, because if people with Down syndrome are terminated, what's next? Like what other group with disabilities are going to be then targeted? We're playing God, and I don't think for me, I don't think that's right.
It was that comment that caused the PR representative who put us in touch with Dorleen to contact the Canadian Down Syndrome Society for clarification on the message. I spoke to Ben Tarr, who's on the association's board of directors. Do you think that this will come down to a pro-life debate?
I hope not.
It's because, like rhinos, people with Down syndrome are endangered.
We're about pro-information. We're not there to talk about the decisions that people want to make. We're just about making sure they have the right information to make those decisions.
Do you worry that the campaign may backfire because of its boldness?
There's always a risk, and I think whenever we do anything like this, we go through the scenario planning and we talk about these sort of things. And the reality is, we have to be bold to get our message out there. We don't have millions of dollars to support the campaign.
Now, we reached out to FCB Canada, the Toronto-based marketing agency behind the campaign. They did not get back to us in time for broadcast. Meanwhile, the CDSS has enlisted the help of an environmental lawyer to actually submit an application to the International Union for the Conservation of Nature. They plan on taking the application and the petition for the public support to the United Nations to present to them on World Down Syndrome Day. That's on March 21st, 2019. Erica Natividad, City News.